Hello everyone, this is Summer3567, and we're back with a little bit of an after April fun. As you guys know, on April 1st I put up an extra video showing a little bit of golf down a mountain. Well, I'd like to go over that with you a little bit. You see, as much fun as it was, there's a little bit of a surprise in there. What do I mean by surprise? You'll find out in a second. Let me just get the actual video up and see if I can put it in something. Let me see if that will actually let me window capture it. There we go. Alright. One putt down this mountain. Closer to the hole wins. You may not move the pin or the tee. You also cannot look for the flag when it's in position. Notice what I said about that last line. First. I can? Alright, let's do it. Notice what I said about that last line. It's going to come back as a joke. So I'm going to start my putt. Yeah, I had the sound off. But now you can see putt's going normal, right? Going down the hill. This is where things start to get weird. No. Back it up. Right here. You know something? Here. Let me bring you into Vegas. Everything's at 2.5 for visibility. But if I turn the visibility up after putting the cursor in the same spot, let's go 100%. Do you guys remember that at all? No? Yes? Yes? No? Maybe? Maybe yes? Maybe no? Well, that's because you should. You see, that's actually the guy from Buried in Time, the news reporter, Jack. Yeah, reference Journeyman, which happened this year. I'll include a photo of him for you. I know, surprising, right? So, that's one of 13 surprises I put in this one. So, you know what? I'll show you the rest of them one by one. He actually slid across the bottom of the screen. We'll actually start from the beginning of this area. This is where they all started when the ball warped naturally. So Jack flew in from the side on you. Here's one of the hard ones. The text ones seem to be what no one could find. This is a small Ghostbusters / reference to Sonic going on. It's actually one of two references as we speak. There's a second one that'll come in a few. For now, we'll just go on. Next one to come in came in from the other side. For those of you who do not know, this is from when Corncheck was streaming on Twitch. He was playing, I believe, with Sleeping Dogs, and there was always a guy that said, there's pork butt vendors all over that would always say, why do you not have a pork bun in your hand? Well, one Friday, he decided, hey, we're going to have Quiplash, because it's the Friday night show, and we always hang out with the friends and everything. And someone named Pork Bun Vendor entered Quiplash and won. He had one of the best freakouts at that moment, going, who the hell is Pork Bun Vendor? I was the one that actually was it, and I said, hi. And everyone had a good laugh out of that one. So that's a reference to those times. That was pre being on here days, basically. But going on. The next thing that came out that a lot of people noticed, and I noticed the bigger the image, the easier it was to catch. This is a preview of what's about to come. Yeah, this is the last episode of Sonic 3D Blast I'm showing a part of. Well, you caught that one but didn't know it. The next one, right here, that's Yoshiko's logo from Love Live. Each of the girls had their own symbol. This was also a reference to last year's prank of Yohane TV, which, as you know, was a day late. And that was brought up. That was found quite easily by one person. Next one to come in, sliding in, is Lady Chloe herself. Now, before you say anything, she's not just a girl on my border, but she's also part of another series entirely. Now, this may seem like a familiar game if you put it in. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up, she's not just a character on a banner. I always said she was on the banner, but that also tells me you guys have not seen the game series that I've worked on a little bit, that I've entered in the Game Maker contests. That's her original appearance. She's basically hanging out on that border to make sure I can keep working on it, hold copyright and all that, because you know copyright laws, if you're not actively using it, it can get all that and stuff. So she's just there to hold up the IGMC games so I can keep working on them, because I have been out of sorts working on them. So if you wanted to ask where she came from, there you actually go on that. So yeah, that was actually from that. Continuing on. We're just going to slide right in with the next one. Prison Vikings. Oh, that's another reference. For those that don't remember that one. Oh, yes, we remember that one. Of course, the software doesn't want to load it. So many copies of them. Yeah. Mini joke because of how the game system works. So you remember that, you now know why. So there's another reference for you. Continuing on our little quest. Next thing to pop in. Look how much bouncing the ball's doing. I noticed the text was also bouncing during that. And he had the heavy from the end of when I did the vlog. You can tell Strong Bad was out at that point. This one was a scrapped Tanoshino Tensei from Love Live All-Stars. I was going to use for a video for something, but it didn't happen. So that's why that one appeared, and she's, you know. Next one is another scrap from Bang Dream. Both these games were shown in last year's event. That also shows that I'm not done with anything. The next one, which I'm surprised a little bit no one got, but also on the other hand, not surprised until a certain person really did, because she knows I like a certain character on this screen. Idolmaster 2. It was in the Yohane thing. I did a Yohane TV group. I tried Vesperia, it didn't work. This is me actually getting the IA award with them. Well, Perfect IA. Which in the game you had to get all region trophies and then win the main thing. It's not easy to do, by any means. The last one that appears after... Oh, by the way, just so you know, character on the left's Takane, the one middle is Yukiho, and the one right Shihaya. Yes, you guys know who's who in that. In case you were wondering. But yeah, that one was another famous one. Well, a part here. This was me trying to say, if you can see this, type it out. Type out that you saw something. I'm glad you guys did without having to see that one, because the next one's the hardest ones to see. Now, a lot of you did ask how I made sure Well, how long it took? Look at all these walls. Every one of these walls was a miss. Except for those two. So yeah. The walls were there as kind of markers to make sure it would work. It's also a joke. It is based off Taskmaster, which is actually a British show that actually did come over to America for one season. Didn't do good in America because, no offense, the British version is much better, but you can watch the British version on YouTube. They've put up a lot of seasons. Some famous there, if you guys know the Mighty Boosh, they have... I'm trying to remember the guy's name, but... Joel, I think it is. No, Noel Fielding, that's who it is, yeah. Sorry, my brain went in the off position, but yeah. Noel Fielding was on one. Mel Giedroyc from the Great British Baking Show / Bake Off. That one was the same season. That one's pretty good. Paul Sinha from The Chase. So you've seen the British version of The Chase. And there's been others. I mean, it's a good show. I recommend it for a good laugh. The stuff they do on it's funny. That's also why at the beginning that this actually folded open. Because I wanted to be like opening a task. And yeah, this year's theme for me for the whole thing, learning how to get creative, well, a little more creative with the transitions. That's what I really wanted to do this year. There was some problems. I mean, I did want to do a little bit of that. And I had to use a duplication to get the theme longer so it would fit, but it wouldn't in the program I wanted to use, so I had to use that one. I even changed up the end card if you guys haven't noticed. And there's a lot of them in there that's funny. Or just random. But the last one, that's actually a joke to the beginning. So you guys weren't paying any attention to my end cards, do try to pay attention. Sometimes I put a joke in there. Sometimes it's a random funny line. Sometimes it's a random line referring to the end. But definitely do take a look at them. Now I'm going to try to load the golf club and show you how easy it was to make the course. But I'm not going to promise anything because I am running a lot of stuff already to show off. So let's just hope I can do this in one. So let me try my best to open up the golf club. Golf club's here. Let's have to open up the... Actually, I have to open Steam. Whoops. Because it's not on the quick load. Let's hope this loads up. This does have a habit of freezing up in OBS. Yes, I use OBS. Got a problem with that? Too bad. It works. And if it ain't broken, I'm not fixing it. So let me just do this. Flop it over. Beautiful. Like I said, this program does kind of chunk it. So if it's getting a little chunky, just, stand by. It's probably going to tell me to buy 2K Tour. PGA, yep, yeah, of course. Same company, just different name. HB Studio works on these. It's much better than what EA could do. I'll show you what I did real quick. I don't have the original one because I deleted it after because it was just get it done thing. But I do highly recommend this. Trust me. I highly recommend this one. Well, this series, because the course designer, if you want to design your own course, this is beautiful for it. It's just waiting for everything to load. It usually takes a little bit shorter, but because I'm also running OBS and a few other things, so you can hear my voice and everything, it's going to be a little slower. There we go. But yeah. You just put the course name, whatever you wanted. I went with Swiss. You could go with whatever. Where was it? Right here. All I really had to do was just click that. Bingo. Terrain, I just turned everything down. Apply. There you go. Layout. Turn down the number of holes so there's none. Got rid of all this stuff because I'm not going to need it for the demo. Apply. Back. There's the main. Oh, look, it's a mess. Yeah, now it's saved, but none of this want to see until published. Sculpt land. Flatten. I chose, I believe it's number 5 that does it. Flatten it out. Quick little flatten. Make sure it's very flat. Now I go and make sure it's big as possible. And page down as far as I can go. It does look a little weird. That's why I didn't really keep it. But you can see, yeah. Now you got one giant overfilled lake that looks weird. But that's part of the whole thing about it. Don't worry about it at the moment. Oh yeah, I did do one other thing. Try to find the end right about here. Page up all the way. Sometimes it doesn't want to, but get to about like right there. That's better than when I first tried to do this. Yeah, it does some weird, silly things, but to be expected because it's not supposed to be used like this. This is a trick right here. I know it does act a little weird. I mean, the course editor, like I said, is pretty good, but does some weird stuff, especially when it's not supposed to be used like this. But just set it up on the edge. There's your mountain. Oh, look, all set up. Oh, it needs a green, right? Edit, create ad, create services, green. We're just gonna spline it. Boom. Boom. Just run it back. Get the 4 points. Close path. Fill spline. 5. I would sharpen. You can smooth it if you want. Doesn't matter. And if we go back and look at the mountain now, it should be one giant putting green. One giant putting green. Yeah, that's all I had to do. Create ad, create hole. T goes first. Let's see, I gotta get up the hill again. I know it takes a little bit to get up the hill, but put yourself right about here. I'm not doing it the exact same because it's going to be a little different because I'm just, like I said, doing this quickly. Put the one down here and then I put the hole close to the water like so. And that's your hole. Play test, play hole. Instantly, you have a hole that is, well, 1,377 yards. The trick is I had to putt it straight. And from there, now you see it's just rolling down. It's doing this little thing. When I did this, that's when I triggered the change and I started doing all the weird stuff. I also had a huge zoom so you'd see it. Zoomed in so you wouldn't see all this stuff on the way. I'm just going to Q-zip it. Make it go a little bit faster because you can see that it is a long putt. It does take 2 minutes to get down the hill. You can see the curves are random and how it comes out. So there's some little weirdness. Now, because I'm already way off because of my bad shot, because I wasn't very straight, it's going to go towards the water. This is why I had to put some walls in because I could never get the same consecutive shot. Because you can see the holes over here. I'm over here. Goodbye. But yeah, you can see how long it is. 4,152 feet. So that's how I did it. The trick is to shoot it straight, not like I did. Because as you can see, same putt, same move. Look how it's going now. Even though it was pointed straight, I didn't hit straight. So guess what it's going to do? That's why I put the two walls starting to guide it, so if I was close enough to it. But there was still a problem at the end of making sure it'd still go in and be straight. And get caught. Which took a little bit more finesse, fine-tuning with the holes, which I'm not about to go into. But you saw the basics. And you saw how random it can get. So yeah, that's all I had to do. That's all. It wasn't too much work. It only took me 2 days at most. So yeah. You guys now know how I did it. I was going to try to use, like I said, I was going to use Music Maker to make this, but it didn't work. And like I said, I actually have it. I thought I deleted it. Here's the original. You see, same exact thing. I just set up a little bit. The hole's up here. You can see the mountain. Mountain wasn't straight. You can see where it ended up. If I go towards the hole, I know I actually have to do a little bit of in and out zoom. You can see I kind of did mess up a few times. It took a few shots to get it right. A few little movements. A little weirdness, but it got in. Yes, I had one go this way off. I mean, it was a good amount of shots, so I put in a few extra ones to make sure to go in. And you can tell I added a little bit of a hill just to make sure it'd go lean in, because there are times it would miss. Like, there's times it would still miss even with this setup. So I had to make sure this hill was done correctly. Oh, and by the way, if you go too low, because the way the game works is that if you go too low with the landscape, it will not sculpt. I need landscape. I'll do this. We'll make a hole over here. Sorry about hitting the mic. But watch what happens if I go down too much. This little crater. Notice how there's already water. Yeah. The game sets a water level. If any terrain is below that level, water. This also meant I had to do one other thing to make sure this would work. To get the most range I could. Let's see, I'm trying to find which one it is. Terrain, water level. You want the water level low because it does help a little bit, but I think high can do some weird stuff too. I'm still learning the editor, so that was also the other thing. But you can see that, yeah, I kept the water level low. Just to make sure. It didn't look like it did anything, but just to make sure, you know. We want that sucker on none. Just to be safe. Because I'm still learning to use this program, well, software to make courses, so yeah. That's the course design. And yeah, I am making one of my own. A more professional one. Still being designed, but you can tell, yeah, I'm learning the software, alright? So you can probably call that a test too. Especially when you got a mini golf course in the middle of it. But yeah, that's the end of this one. I just wanted to show off how we did the whole prank, talk a little bit about it, talk a little bit about other stuff off camera and stuff, so you guys know what's up. So with that, I'm going to end the episode here. I hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you on the next one. See you then.